Some of them, I'm really bad at it, but this is one of my top dishes, so listen to me, all right? I know what I'm talking about. Okay, people, Chef Kang is back. I'm at Chef Kang Food Rehab, okay? Tipsy. Last time I was there, I was at Tipsy Kitchen. Today, I'm at my home ground. This is my place. And today, we are going to do the Doenjang-jjigae. If you understand Korean, you know what that is. Doenjang-jjigae is like a bean paste that is fermented, and you put tofu and vegetables, and you cook it like in a stew. And it is like number one or number two main dish that Koreans love to eat, okay? I'm gonna show you the way to make the greatest doenjang-jjigae ever. You could feed it to anyone and they will love you. Anyway, we're gonna start today with the ingredients first. First of all, the main ingredient, doenjang-jjigae needs to have some kind of broth, okay? Whether it's a seafood broth or meat broth, you need to have it. My meat choice is beef. Okay, this is actually a rib. It's like a prime rib, pieces that goes between the bones. I could get it at like $2.75 per pound, which is right now the Korean ribs, you know, the short ribs are so expensive. They're like $14 a pound. So I don't want anyone to waste their money when you could get the same pretty much quality. Actually, there's a little bit of more fat on it, but you could trim it. And then this is such a good meat. But if you're not a meat eater, then you could go with even shrimp. You could go with no meat. You freaking messed up doenjang-jjigae by putting in chicken or pork. Don't do that, okay? Go to the market, just get a boneless beef. Okay, we got diced garlic right here, diced garlic. We're gonna use about 2 spoonfuls. There's a lot more than that right here, diced garlic. Remember dashida? Remember the broth powder that I use, and most of the Koreans that use it all? This is a different brand, okay? So I'm using this brand. Like I said, it doesn't matter which company brand that you use. And Korean style pepper powder. Actually, if you don't have this, you could use cayenne or, you know, paprika, whatever, but you should use like a coarse pepper powder that Koreans usually use for kimchi jjigae or marinating chicken or whatever. It is a little bit coarse and it is different. So, but if you don't have it, you could substitute 2 spoons with other pepper powders, okay? The main ingredient right here. I know what you're gonna say. Can you get a close shot of this? People are gonna be shocked who never seen a bean paste. Yes, I know, it looks like, well, it's a bean fermented paste. This is so healthy, and it is a ingredient that Koreans use a lot in their dishes. And if you cook it right, it doesn't have any odors, and it is so good, and it's good for you. Tofu, it doesn't matter. If you live in some out-of-state places, I know you cannot get Korean tofu. You could get Japanese tofu, Chinese tofu, it doesn't matter. Just get a pack. We're not gonna use it all, so if you have a smaller pack, I suggest you get a smaller one. We got onion. It doesn't matter if it's the red onion, purple onion, white onion. Just get 1 onion. All right, here I got some Serrano chili. I like these because it has more crispier, spicy taste other than jalapenos. Koreans use a lot of jalapeno. I suggest not to use jalapenos. And we got just regular mushroom. We're gonna need about 8 to 10 pieces of it. And I'm gonna show you how to cut them and use them. Italian squash. Okay, I like Italian squash than the Korean squash because when you boil it, the Korean squash tends to melt and it doesn't hold its shape. Italian squash has more firmness to it and it will not break apart. So I rather use these, but if you don't have it, use Korean. Any kind of squash is okay. And most importantly, green onions. Get 1 pack of these right here. I'm going to show you how to cut them and use it. They say, oh, the garnish, do we really need it? Yes. This is not just about the garnish. When you have a beef broth based any kind of Korean dish, you need to have these to kind of neutralize the greasiness. And it works really well, and it adds like the freshness to the dish. So don't forget this, is very important, okay? Anyway, all the ingredients are here other than the water. I just prepared the water. We're gonna cook in a bowl. This is about 2-3 people's worth. We're gonna use this bowl. So we're gonna use about the water. This is too much, but I'm gonna show you how much to use. Okay, now we're all set. All the ingredients are shown. So now we're gonna pour the water. Okay, if you see the bowl right there, okay, any kind of, not a bowl, but the pan, any kind of pan that you're gonna use, I pour water a little bit less than the full. So it's about half, and it's a little bit less than half because all the ingredients, when it's added to it, it will make it rise. And when you boil it, it will cause to boil over and it'll cause a mess, and you don't want that. So this is first thing that you do, and then we're gonna take this and put it on the fire. Okay, so while the water is boiling on a pot, I'm gonna show you a way to cut this beef, okay? I'm gonna trim a little bit of the fat off, but it's okay, don't be afraid. I'm gonna cut into like a bite-sized pieces. And when you get a little bit of fat here and there, just chop it off and throw it away, right? Like this piece right here, look, you don't want that. So take that out and cut it into chunks. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just cut it into pieces. You don't want it too small, okay? Don't be stingy on the meat, because when the broth is cooked right, it makes the doenjang-jjigae so flavorful. So don't be shy on the meat, and actually just cut off some fat. Okay, when it's boiling, you throw in the meat in it. Such a high heat cooks the meat at the edges rapidly, and you'll trap the moisture, the juice inside, then cook it. First thing that is good about that is keep the meat very tender, which is good. Everybody loves tender meat. Another thing, it takes away the odor of the meat. Okay, so now it's boiling really hard, right? So I'm gonna throw in the meat. Maybe I made too much meat, but it's okay. Just throw it in. Make sure they're not all together. Just throw it in like that. Let it boil about 10 minutes to make the beef broth, okay? We're gonna cook some more where after all the ingredients are going together. So 10 minutes should do it. But if you cook it about 5 minutes more, it'll make the meat more tender. First, I'm gonna take about 1/3 of the Italian squash. Just cut it like this. Any shape you want. There is no wrong way of cooking. Just cut it, not into too small, because as it boils, you don't want this thing to be too soft and loses shape. So that's it, right there. So easy, right? Or less. I'm gonna pick about 6. Just cut it in half. That's it. Really easy. Cooking should be easy and fun, okay? But if it's hard, then you start losing interest, and people do not like cooking. Just dump it in there. Yeah. Just cut the edges like that. Take it out. This is the easiest way of peeling it. Okay, don't worry about just getting the edge. So sometimes, because it really stresses me out, I just take the thicker piece out to make it faster. I'm just gonna use it a half. Just cut it, and then cut it, cut it, cut it, and dump it in. If people are right now, the trend is very spicy food. I'm gonna take about 3 Serrano chili, and just cut it. Not too small, but not too big. If you see the shape right there, but you could do anything you like. Knife. I got this gift from a friend of mine, Doenjang. She runs a food truck in Germany, Army base. She sent it to me last year as a gift because she came here and learned how to make chicken from me. So as a thankful gift, she sent it to me. It's a really good knife. I've been using it all my outside catering places, slicing meat for the clients. But I think I forgot to sharpen it because I've been using it a lot. That's why I'm not doing it good, okay? So this is the only ingredient, green onion, that will not be thrown in yet, okay? Because you want to throw it in at the end. Hold on, something's going over. Okay, anyway, I had to run back there because my big pot of chicken broth that I'm making for my champong has overflown, so I had to go turn off the stove. Anyway, cut it like this and just leave it for the end, okay? It will have Oh my God, my chicken broth is going again. And lastly, this is very important, tofu, okay? Just cut it open like that. There's a lot of water in there, right? What you wanna do is you wanna dump the water. So I'm just going to cut it like little squares. See, like that, you see it? Very simple, and you could dump that. Oh my God! So anyway, that is done. The broth should be ready. Let's go and first show you to add this bean paste is the first thing that you need to add. So let's go. Look at the meat. It has been boiling. You could see the broth and there's oil to it. Okay, this is really good broth right now. So I'm gonna add about 1 large spoon, which is about 2 spoons, okay? I suggest about 3 spoons. And this is very important that you wanna make sure the bean paste gets melted within the water like this, okay? If you just throw it in and cook it, sometimes it leaves a big chunk and people think it's a meat and they eat it. Wow, it will shock them, okay? So make sure the bean paste is kind of broken up and it is mixed in with water really good. So we're done with the bean paste. Now we're gonna add 1 full spoon, okay? 2 spoons of garlic, mix that in there. And then you know the dashda, the Korean powder, 1 and 2. Just mix it in there. And because the pot is so small, I'm reducing the quantity. 1 spoon and a half, or it could be 1 spoon. It could be 2 spoons, but don't put it too much. It will become too thick, too red, and then you'll lose the appearance of the doenjang-jjigae, okay? And then we could right now add the vegetables and tofu and everything in right now, okay? But I'm gonna throw it all in, okay? It might be overflowing, so I might have to lose some of it, but I don't wanna miss the tofu, because right there we go, okay? So it's done. You want to make sure that all the vegetables and the tofu is buried inside the broth. See, now it's looking like what? Doenjang-jjigae. If you ever ate it, this is what it looks like. Just add that up. And at this point, you want to reduce the heat. You don't want to evaporate all the water and leave all the paste behind. It'll be really salty. And you just let this boil about 10 minutes and we're done. After 10 minutes, you put in some green onions and we're done with it. Isn't that simple or what? I know I've been talking a lot and Director Jang was saying that our filming was taking too long, but I just wanted to make sure clear information was sent to you guys because I know it is a simple dish, but to make it that is top of the notch flavor, you have to follow this instruction. Okay, it's about done now. Actually, you could cook it a little bit more than 10 minutes. It'll make the broth thicker, but I don't like it way too thick. So in my preference, I'm just cooking it about 10 minutes and I'm gonna throw in lastly, the green onions, okay? You don't have to worry about these are cooked or not because even though you serve it to your family members or your friends or whatever, it will cook when it's off the stove. So don't worry about it. And just throw it in a little bit like this and we're done, right? Make sure you clean the edges when you serve it, okay? Don't have this dirty edges like this, all right? We are done. We're gonna turn it off.